Hello, hello. Excited? We're live. Hopefully we're live. I don't even have my phone here to double check and make sure. For those of you who are hopping on, comment your name and where you're from so I can give you a shout out. Looks like we are live. Good. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Heather. For those of you who are hopping on as we're building an audience, let me know what you're doing today. Drop me your favorite emoji below. Let's get some engagement going. Okay, awesome. Hey, Paula, Jonathan. Great. Deborah. Fantastic. Looks like we have a bunch of people hopping on. Susan, Dale, Melinda, Jill. Awesome. Great. Well, I'm really excited to be talking to you guys today for today's Daily Dose of Awesome. Welcome. Very excited to be here. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Cari Hyam, and my husband Whit and I are Invictus members inside of the Elite Marketing Pro community, and we are super excited. Well, I'm super excited to be with you guys today. Sadly, Whit isn't able to join me. He is actually on coaching calls. If he gets stood up, though, he just may make an appearance towards the end. But awesome. Keep the comments coming. Let me know how you're doing. We've got Melinda, Jill, Marilyn, Averly, Larry, Dale, Jonathan. Let's see who else is here. Karen. Hey, Heather. Good to see you. Mandy, Karen, Calissa, is it Calissa? Calissa, Maddie, welcome everybody. Well, I'm really excited. I have quite a bit of content that I want to get through today, so we're going to dive right into it. I want to start off with a question. How many times in the past of you working in your business has distractions during the holiday season kind of put a hinder on your business? You know, shoot a 1 down below. Give me a 1 in the comments if you feel like the holidays are like the worst time of the year to be building your business because of all the distractions and everything that happens. Tell Whit we see how it is not being on live with us. I know, Jonathan, I had actually scheduled this for the Daily Dose of Awesome, and it's my fault because I didn't tell him, oh, we have Daily Dose, you need to move your coaching call. And then all of a sudden it popped up on my calendar last night, and he's all like, we have Daily Dose tomorrow? And I was like, yeah, we do. So if, like I said, if he ends up getting stood up or gets done early, he will join us before the end. But yeah, so the holiday season, it can be a huge distraction for a lot of people. And in the past, it was a huge distraction for Whit and I. I mean, it seemed like as we got more, like the second Halloween was done, it was almost like, oh, I can't wait till the first part of the year so that I can jumpstart my business. How many of you may even have those thoughts right now? Like, oh, the holiday season is so crazy. There's no way I'm going to be able to work on my business. I've got this party and that party. I've got this commitment and that commitment. There's no way I'm going to be able to work on my business. And be honest, because this is exactly how I used to be. You know, the second Halloween was over, it was almost all like, okay, in January, we're going to have a fresh start, right? We have our New Year's resolution. We might take it a little easy during the holidays because we work so hard during the rest of the year. That's exactly how Whit and I used to be. And it was actually last year, so a year ago this month, that Whit and I actually had our first $10,000 month. And then over December and January, we set ourselves up to have our very first $20,000 month. And it's because of some of the things that we did during November and December that really set us up for that momentum. Okay, last year, yes. This year, no way. I love it, Marilyn. No, you don't have time to take a break, right? The problem that a lot of people have in their businesses is the second, you know, they're pushing all throughout the year. Then all of a sudden, they take 2 months off during the holiday season. And it's like we talked about on the last time Whit and I were on Daily Dose, and it's what JT DeVolt says, you know, you're in the middle of building this bridge. The second you take a break, you're suddenly starting over. You've lost your momentum. So I wanted to give you guys 4 tips on what you can do to stay productive during the holiday season this year. So if that sounds good and you're excited to hear some of these tips that I'm going to be giving you guys, drop a 2 down in the comments. I want to know. Let's give a couple more shout outs before I hop into the content. We've got Thomas, Susan, Manto, good to see you guys. Melanie, good to see you. Sally, Fran, Sage, and Michelle. Awesome. I said no to everything this year. I'm building. I love it. I love it. So you're really going to like these tips because these are things that I put into action last year to get us that first $10,000 month and then to get us our first $20,000 month right after. $20,000 a month right after. So the first tip that I have is to plan, okay? To plan and prepare. And I know that we hear this a lot, but it's absolutely true. If you don't have a plan in place of like an end goal that you want to hit to, and you don't have a plan to help you get to that goal, you will never reach the goal. Okay, so a couple things that I like to do to keep myself focused and productive when it comes to this plan is I like to create to-do lists. This is something that Whit absolutely hates, but it works for me. Every night before I go to bed, I have a to-do list of what I need to get done the next day. Okay, another thing is I plan and prepare for distractions. I plan and prepare for those moments when all of a sudden I'm not able to work on my business. Okay, so I want to know who here likes to-do lists, and then also let me know if you're using time blocking in your calendar. I absolutely love Google Calendar. Okay, if you are not using Google Calendar, you need to right now. I started using it last year for the very first time, and it's cool because you can actually block out periods of time. I have like everything blocked out. I have blocked out time for those distractions. I have time set aside every day as kind of my window, my like I call it my oh shit time, pardon my language, but it's that time of the day when like everything goes downhill, my day is hijacked, and it gives me a chance to get back on track. Okay, so how you might time block. Oh, look, we do have more we do have more comments coming in. Sorry guys, this doesn't scroll with me. So yes, I calendar everything. To-do lists, they're going to be your lifesaver, okay? And a lot of people, what they end up doing is they think, oh, I have all of this stuff that I need to get done before the end of December, right? You're thinking, okay, maybe I have a course I'm putting together. I've got an affiliate contest I'm a part of. I want to rank advance. I want to put this course together. You have all of these things that you want to get done, and then you write everything for everything down on that to-do list, and it's a mile long. Don't do that. Okay, what I want you to do instead is I want you to take the one thing that you want to get done before the end of this week. Okay, one thing. You're only picking one, because that's going to bring us into our next tip that I'm giving you, which is avoiding multitasking. All right, so whenever I decide I'm going to do something, I take on one thing at a time. Okay, because it can be so easy to think, oh, I've got this affiliate marketing thing I'm doing. I've got my network marketing business that I'm doing. I'm putting together my own course. If you try to master everything at once, you will master nothing. You will get nothing done because all you're doing is jumping around. What's best to do is pick one thing that you're going to work on, and then you work on that until it's done. Okay, an example of this was last month. So Whit and I, we have a lot of things we're putting into place. We've got a team funnel that we're putting together for our network marketing business. We've got a course that we're actually coming out with at the first of the year. And then we also had a very good friend of ours reach out to us and say, hey, I'm relaunching one of my courses. Would you guys like to be a part of this contest? I've got some pretty cool prizes I'm giving away. I'd love your support. So what we ended up having to do was decide, okay, what is the most important thing that we can be doing right now? We decided it was that contest. And we put everything else to the side for 2 weeks to really focus on that contest. And everything that we did, whether it was on our fan page, blog posts, meeting with people, it was we focused in on that blog post. And guess what? On that contest. And guess what? We did great. We actually took second in the contest. It would have never happened if we were trying to put together our course at the same time, if we were, putting all these funnels into place. You pick one thing and focus on it until it's done, okay? So that was multitasking. A lot of people, and I think women especially, we think, oh, we've got to be great multitaskers. Multitasking is impossible. Okay, this is actually something that I've learned over this last year. I grew up thinking women can multitask, right? We've got our kids at home. We were cooking dinner. We're doing Zoom calls. We're building a team. We're working on courses. We're affiliate marketers. And guess what? We think, oh, I can do all of this stuff. You cannot multitask. Your brain does not allow you to do it. Okay, and so what I've personally done, especially when it comes to being mom, right? Because our kids are our most important thing that we might be doing. And this is kind of, I'm going off topic a little bit, but I think it's important to talk about. How many of you guys feel like, and dads too, how many of you guys feel like sometimes your kids have to like be put on the back burner while you're building your business? How many of you guys feel like, man, I cannot seem to spend quality and quantity time with my kids while I'm putting all of this together? That was one of my biggest struggles over, the first 6 months of 2017, was trying to find that balance between being a mom and then also being like a kick-ass entrepreneur. And so that's when, I had a really good conversation with my own personal mentor, Tim Irway, Bernie Ceballos. They're actually here inside Elite Marketing Pro. Absolutely love those two guys. They told me that I can't do everything and that sometimes we have to say goodbye to certain things. And so I really cut back my hours in coaching right after that because I knew that I couldn't focus on everything. I wanted to be mom first. It was my most important. It was like the most important thing that I could actually focus on was my kids. And the whole reason we're building this business, right, is to spend time with our children, to spend time with our families. Your marriage is important, right? And it was important to me. So going back to that time blocking, my kids, so I don't like my kids to spend a lot of time in front of the television. That's just me. I don't like it. I would rather them being doing something productive. But building a business, until you get it to where you want it to be, it's a little bit of give and take. And so I actually, during my time blocked schedules, when my oldest is in school and my youngest is napping, I'm working. Also, when my kid, there's also like about a 2-hour time block during the day where after I'm done helping Kateson with his homework, after, we've spent some time playing when he gets home from school, I allow them to have a little bit of TV time. It keeps them happy. I'm able to do some Zoom calls, and it does make it a lot easier now that Whit was home. But clear back when Whit wasn't home yet, before we had retired him, it was just me building my business. And so make sure that you use that time block at times when it makes the most sense for you to get what's done in your business. And also make sure that you're spending time with your children. I'm going to tell you that right now. If you're not spending time with your kids, if you're not spending time with your spouse, it doesn't matter. You're building this for nothing, because all of a sudden it's going to be a year from now and you're going to look back and say, I missed an entire year of my children growing up. I missed an entire year out with I missed an entire year with my spouse because all I was doing was focused on building my business. So make sure that you are putting time in there. It's the most important thing. Okay, so plan and prepare. Avoid multitasking. Tip number 3 that I'm going to give you is taking care of yourself physically. Okay, so I mean, it's the holidays. I am a chocoholic. I love chocolate. I love, the candy. I love Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is, the turkey, the mashed potatoes. It can be so easy to get off track. You're working on your business. It's cold outside, depending on where you live in the world, right? It's cold outside. And so you're thinking, it's easy to slip. It's easy to maybe not go for that run. It's easy to not go to the gym. It's easy to eat and eat and eat until, we can't eat anymore, to indulge that way. Take care of yourself physically. Don't go overboard on Thanksgiving. Maybe you're not eating as much. Maybe you're, make sure that you're time blocking in your calendar to go for a run every day. Maybe, it is cold outside and maybe you are a stay-at-home mom and you only have your kids. Do some things inside. There's some really cool workout plans that you can do from home. And what's really fun is that with Kate's and Xandrix, as I'm sitting there, doing my P90X or whatever it is during the day in here, they're actually doing it with me. They think it's fun to do jumping jacks and to, be doing the crunches with me and stuff. So make sure that you're taking care of yourself physically. You're getting enough sleep, because if you don't, you'll never be able to have the energy and to have the mental clarity and focus that you need to be able to work on your business. Okay, so are you guys getting value from this so far? If you're getting value, give me some likes, give me some loves, maybe drop your favorite emoji in the comment section. Let me know. Because we're now going to be moving on to tip number 4, which is self-evaluations. Okay, so when I first started when I first started coaching for wingman coaching, and then when I actually became a facilitator for the Fast Track program, I absolutely love what Elite Marketing Pro does. Is they do self-evaluations at the end of every day, the end of every week, and at the end of every event that they may do. And so that's something that I started to implement inside of our own business, where every day I'm looking at my day, seeing how productive I was, and I'm saying, okay, what worked, what didn't work, and what might I do differently tomorrow? Okay, you need to be doing this in your own business every day as well. Okay, maybe you're doing it at the end of every day, or do it at the end of each week, whatever works best for you. Take a look at the week and say, okay, what worked this week, what didn't work this week, and what might I do differently to make it so that whatever didn't work works. All right, that has been huge for Whit and I inside of our business. Okay, because I'm able to really evaluate. If you're not tracking, you're never going to be able to, make the changes necessary to get you to where you want to be, the next week. And so, it's during those times of self-evaluation where I'm all like, okay, it didn't, this didn't work today. My dad almost cut his leg off with a chainsaw. I had no control over that a couple weeks ago, but I was able to say, what might I do differently? I'm going to make sure that my dad isn't out chopping wood by himself, right? There's also, you can also take a look at, okay, what worked? Kids were good. What didn't work? Kids were good on Monday. They allowed me to work. What didn't work on Tuesday? Kids were antsy. So what might I do differently so that kids aren't antsy on Tuesday to where they're bugging me during my time when I'm supposed to be working? What I do is I end up time blocking time early. What I did was I time blocked time earlier in the morning when I'm actually spending time with my kids. They get their mom time, they get their snuggles. We're, playing games, we're doing whatever we need to. And then when that time of the day comes that it's time for mom to work, kids are more willing, they're more willing to let me work. Also, one other thing I want to add in while we're on the topic of those kids, make sure you have like healthy snacks in your house. A lot of times kids, they're cranky because they're hungry, right? They're hangry is what I like to call it. So I like to keep healthy snacks in the fridge where, if I just need 2 seconds to finish up a Zoom call, or maybe I'm finishing a blog post, whatever that may be, I hurry and go grab some string cheese, or I'm grabbing, some of my homemade fruit leather strips that I'm giving them, just to keep their mouths happy for, just for the next 5 minutes while I finish whatever it is that I'm doing. So if you guys got value from this, Susan, yes, absolutely. So just let's hurry and sum up. So 4 tips that I've given you today is make sure that you're planning and preparing, okay? That's the first thing. Second, avoid multitasking and distractions. And those kind of go hand in hand, tips 1 and 2, because you have to plan and prepare for those distractions as well, okay? Next, number 3, taking care of yourself physically, spiritually, emotionally. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself, because if you aren't taking care of yourself, you're not going to be able to take care of anybody else, and you're not going to be able to build your business. And tip number 4 is self-evaluations. Taking a look every day, every week at what you were able to accomplish, what worked, what didn't work, and what might you do differently to make whatever didn't work that week work the next week. So if you guys got value, string cheese, got to get me some. I love string cheese, Nicholas. We keep it in. I think Whit and I eat it more than the kids. But anyways, for anybody that's gotten value, give me some love, give me some likes. Shoot me shoot me a 4 in the comments section if you got value out of today's Daily Dose of Awesome. And if by any chance you aren't a member of Elite Marketing Pro's community, you can actually head over to elitemarketingpro.com. Go ahead and pick up your free 10-day boot camp that they put you through. You're going to be able to see and get a lot of different tips on how to take your business online, so that you are able to start hitting some of those goals that you have set before the end of the holidays. So everyone, hope that you have a great holiday season. Whit and I will be back. I don't remember the exact day, but we will be back another day here in November, and we will talk to you all soon. See ya.